Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to the Premier League preview show. Now, I have to apologise instantly as we start this that once again, Photoshop is really messing up for me. I'm struggling to use it. It doesn't want to let me save anything. It takes half an hour if it does actually want to save something. So, once again, there won't be any graphics on the screen in this episode, unfortunately. I'm going to reinstall it tomorrow and see if I can fix it ready for the roundup show on Tuesday. But today we are going to try and predict the Premier League games for this weekend. So if you do have your predictions, then please leave them in the comment section down below for each game and we can see who gets the closest to getting all of them right. So we're now using a point system so that we can just compare and make it a little bit of a competition. So if you get it completely wrong, you get 0 points. If you get the result right, you get 1. So say you have Chelsea to win 3-2, but they win 1-0, you get 1 point. You get 3 points if you get the score bang on. So that's what we're going to do from now on. And we're going to see how many points I can get, how many points you guys can get if you leave your comments in the section down below. So, start it off with Saturday's early kickoff. Newcastle versus Arsenal. Newcastle's last game, 0-0 against Man U. Not that bad. They looked okay, apparently. Arsenal, 0-0 draw against Liverpool, who were dominated for portions of the game. So, not the best performance by either team, but they still picked up wins in games where they didn't look like the best side in the match, so not too bad. So obviously the obvious one is to go with Arsenal here, and that is what I'm going to do, because I think that it's just a matter of time, like with Chelsea, that they will just click, and all of a sudden they'll just start banging in the goals and smashing teams. So I think today maybe, or tomorrow maybe that day, and Arsenal are going to win 3-1 because their defence is a little bit shaky right now with their defenders out. So that's what I'm going for in that one. Next, we move on to Aston Villa versus Sunderland. Villa losing their last game to Palace 2-1, and Sunderland getting a good draw against Swansea. Not too bad for them. I think they were losing as well, so good comeback there. So it's a really tough one to call this because neither of them are looking incredible. It's not as if one's in really good form and one isn't, and it's an easy call. They're both looking meh, pretty poor. Like Sunderland's result against Swansea was decent, but it's still not a win, is it? So it's whether they can try and continue that belief that they get that point in that game that's really, really good. Can they now move on, and against a worse side, can they push on and get better? So in this game, I don't think either team is going to win. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw in this match. Next, we go to Bournemouth versus Leicester. So, two decent results for both of these teams last week. Bournemouth with a really good win over West Ham. They won 4-3. Callum Wilson with the hat-trick, whereas Leicester drew against Spurs. Good result for us there, especially after we were losing. So, interesting one again. A lot of people are going to jump on the Bournemouth hype train and assume that because they beat West Ham that they're just going to smash us because we're not an incredible team. But then if you look at our results so far, we're still unbeaten after 3 games. We're second in the league. Like, we're doing well, clearly. And it's Bournemouth. They're not insanely good. They had a very good game, and they did play well against Liverpool. But I think our playing style, hopefully, will prove to be too good for them. And I think that we are going to win this one. And I'm going to go with, because our defence is a little bit dodgy as well, I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for Leicester in that game. Next, we move on to Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Like I said, Palace beat Villa. Chelsea just got that win against West Brom 3-2. Bit of a close game, that one for them, but they did manage to pick up the win. Pedro with a very nice debut for him. So, Chelsea is the obvious choice here. It seems like they're starting to click now. Pedro coming straight into the side and doing really well, like Sanchez did for Arsenal last season. Having an instant impact is really, really good for him. So, I think Chelsea will win this one, and I think that they're going to try and be a bit more defensive as well. With John Terry out of this game, they need to try and solidify their defence because it's been really leaky right now. I think they've conceded like the second most amount of goals in the league. That could be wrong, but it's very close down there. So I'm going to go with a Chelsea win. I think Palace will get a goal though because they have goals in them. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 in this game. Next, we move on to Liverpool versus West Ham. So Liverpool picking up that decent draw against Arsenal. Could easily have won it if it was not for Petr Cech being a god in that game. West Ham obviously losing to Bournemouth. I'm going to go with a Liverpool victory on this one. I can't see anything else happening. West Ham are really struggling. They struggled in Europa League. They're struggling in the league right now. Their manager not doing well. So I think Liverpool are easily going to win this one. I'm going to go with a 3-0 victory. Next, we move on to Manchester City versus Watford. Man City still haven't conceded a goal. Top of the league after 3 wins, beating Everton last time out. Watford drawing against Southampton is not bad, but you just can't see anything other than a Man City win here, and it looks like it's probably going to be a good one, judging by their recent performances. So I'm going to go with another 3-0 in this game. I just don't see Watford scoring. Man City have just looked way too good. Next we move on to Stoke versus West Brom. Stoke drew against Norwich. Not an incredible game, but at least they get a point, I guess, away from home, which is not bad. And this week they are at home, which is nice for them. West Brom, obviously, against Chelsea, did lose, but they did score 2 goals, which is not too bad. So I think this is going to be a close one as well. And I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw in this, because right now I don't see a certain team edging it. Stoke, you could say, oh, like Shaqiri might turn up. West Brom, though, you got Berahino. His head's in the wrong place right now. It's all happening with him. What's going to happen? Is Rondon going to show up? We'll see. But I'm going to go with 1-1 in that one. Next, we move on to Spurs versus Everton. So obviously Spurs drew with us. Everton lost to Man City. Spurs really not looking great so far. I'm going to go with an Everton win, because even though they lost their last game, they still look decent. So I'm going to go with an Everton win of 2-0, because unless Harry Kane starts firing again, they're really going to struggle. I mean, they got Son from I don't know how it's pronounced, from Leverkusen today, so that's not a bad signing for them. But is he going to jump straight into the team? I mean, they bought a striker. He hasn't played yet. Harry Kane isn't scoring. Eriksen's out injured. I just don't see them winning when Everton are in this good run of form. So I'm going to go Everton 2-0 in this game. Southampton versus Norwich. Southampton been poor so far. Just got dumped out of the Europa League last night. Just average, really. Norwich, like I said, got the 1-1 draw against Stoke. So another tough game to call because of recent form. You would like normally say, oh yeah, Southampton, easily. But I don't know what to say in this game. So once again, I'm going to go with a draw. I don't ever bet on draws, but this week I think I've already gone with 3. So I'm going to go with another 1-1 draw here. And then we move on to the final game of Swansea versus Man U. So Swansea drawing against Sunderland, Man U drawing against Newcastle. Not great results for either of them, really. So, yet again, not the easiest one to call. Man U smashing it in the Champions League. Doesn't mean anything if they can't reproduce it in the league, though. Swansea, disappointing in their last game. You'd expect, like, their players who were playing well, they just couldn't take the chances that they created. So, I think this one is going to be close as well, but maybe this is the week where Man U finally show up in the league. And they're going to win 2-1 over Swansea. So that is going to be it for this preview. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Leave your predictions in the comment section down below, and we will see who gets the closest to the maximum amount of 30 points. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Leave your comments with your predictions and leave any feedback in the section down below. Thank you very much. Leave a like if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.